Praise the Lord. We continue with the Dele Giwa story. So they harassed Dele Giwa, and Dele Giwa, stood his ground. He told them that, he had a story and he was going ahead to publish it. They harassed him. They did all kind of things. They thought that the guy could get him to, buckle under their pressure. He refused, and they sent him away. So the Guzo, again I refer, this man, he was Babangida's hatchet man during that time. Remember that they were on the same boat. So the two of them, he now went to Babangida. What do we do with this guy? And they agreed. Akilu and all of them, DMI. They now said, this is what they are going to do. They will revive. They will harass him, judicially. So they concocted a story that the guy was into gun running. They were dropping wrong, but they now say he was into drug running, a journalist. And when the allegations surfaced, Dele Giwa was, afraid. He was dealing with the military people. So he ran to, the late Chief Ganifa Emi and said, Chief, this was what was going on. Can you help? But it was not a judicial thing. They already knew what they wanted to do. So they called him back again. And then it's as if, we can settle. So what's going on? Will you drop the story? And Dele Giwa said, well, under one condition, there's a way they normally talk. A kind of quid pro quo. They do it here in America too. I'm telling you. Unless you don't know the working system here in the US. But it's not the way they do it in Nigeria that they do it here. Praise the Lord. There's a way they do it. You saw what happened to Trump while he was doing quid pro quo with Zelensky. The president of Ukraine. Human beings are the same everywhere. Let me tell you, it's just the system and the institutions that, whether you are yellow, you are green, you are white, you are black, you are male, you are female, you are young or old, it does not matter. You live in Africa, Asia, US. It's the same set of human beings. Fallen nature. They are our fallen nature. David said it. He said, this time my mother's womb, I was conceived. In iniquity I was born. Evil is already in our DNA. That's why Jesus Christ said, you need to be born again. It's the same fallen nature of the entire human race. So, Dele Giwa thought that it was going to be a kind of a legal thing. But this was not a legal thing. It was dealing with the military, like I said. So they said, okay, they said they will package something for Newswatch. And in Nigeria, when they say they will package something for you, you know what it means. So Dele Giwa returned back home and it was upbeat. Praise the Lord. So Guzo and all the rest, they now agreed that we need to get rid of this guy. But they are going to do it clinically. These are evil people. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria. So that they will send a powerful and a powerful message to the journalists that if you dare cross the line, you are finished. That it was a new regime. Babangida wanted to rule that country and stay in power. Become another Yadema or Togo. He was not seeing it. So what did they do? They now said, okay, we will discuss with the president. We will discuss with Babangida. You have given us your figure and now we are going to help Newswatch. We understand. You are just coming up. We knew how you left Abiola, the Concord newspaper and the rest. So we'll help you guys. So what they did was that they had already, I think Bubamawa, who's, the head of the NDLA, he was also involved. So they packaged it, and the parcel bomb was waiting. Remember that they said they would contact Babangida, the commander-in-chief, the head of state. You know, when something will be coming from the head of state, you know, it's going to be generous. It's going to, you know, millions, you know, of naira in those days. So Dele Giwa was waiting, and then because they said they had contacted the head of state, and then they will send the, you know, the report. It's going to be of a check. He invited Kayode Soyinka. The whole idea was, once Kayode Soyinka showed up, and the letter, the check that was coming from Babangida got to Dele Giwa, he would just hand over to Kayode. Kayode will go and deposit it in London. Whether you call it blackmail or whatever, that's what they do. They do it in Nigeria in those days. Praise the Lord. But it was not to be. It was not a check. Babangida explained and said it that him, as the head of state, an editor, a journalist, will hold his, you know, government to ransom. No way. They had to eliminate that guy. They did not know that Dele Giwa had already moved from Adolphus Davis in Ikeja. That he had already moved to Okpebi, his new house, since he was not working for Concord newspapers anymore. So, and Fumi, his wife, he had remarried. He had already left Mama Bakassi. Praise the Lord. So, one of them now called Mama Bakassi at Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, where she had her office, where she was doing her business. The head of state said, would you send something to your former husband? Do you know where he lives now? You know, we went to Adolphus Davis and we didn't find anything. Oh! Sketch, because they were still talking, you know, even as a former wife, you know, although they've divorced, but they still remain in, you know, in contact. So that was how. She did not know. She now gave a description. When you get to Alabitela, so and so, you pass through the hotel, and then at the back, they now took it there. And that was how they killed that brilliant young man. And you know, eventually the money that he asked for, they released it. But this time around, over the dead body of Dele Giwa. And that was how they called Chief Otumba Mike Adenuga, who was one of Babangida's, you know, henchmen, to go and buy Newswatch. This is the story of the death of Dele Giwa. You know, the characters are still around. They will only keep quiet, or they confirm my story. Riepu, Yakubu Mohammed, Dan Agbese, they know this story. But like I said, everybody's afraid. And Chief MQ Abiola knew about this. And we're going to see what eventually happened. This is our segment on Dele Giwa. We'll move to the next. It is well. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Continue to watch. Keep watch. Continue to listen. This is the story of Nigeria.